Hi everybody, this is Dr. Stokes, and I wanted to create a short video because I got a question from one of your classmates asking about the assignment that is due this week. So I'm going to go right here. Here I am in our course, and I'm going to go to our module for this week, and I can do that two ways: by clicking here in the announcement or going up here to content and then clicking on the week 2 race and ethnicity page. And so when I do this, our information comes up for our topic this week. If I scroll all the way down to the bottom, you see this learning activity here. And essentially what I'm asking you to do is review some lessons for different disciplines to see where you can find different race and ethnicity and how these are addressed in the lesson. Okay, you don't have to do all four disciplines. I have a math, a science, an English language arts, and a social studies. And I did this because I assume by now most of you have already decided what subject area you want to teach, or you have a pretty good idea of what subject area you want to teach. So I encourage you to choose that subject area to complete this lesson, this assignment. And I have some instructions here at the bottom telling you while you are reviewing these lessons, what you should be looking for. Things like just the title, how does the lesson address race or ethnicity, why is it important to represent race, ethnicity to students, think about how well minorities are represented in your particular discipline. Okay, does this content lesson do a good job of representing race and ethnicity, or what changes or additions can be made? Now this fourth one right here, this fourth criteria, is where the question came in. A student said that they were not familiar with the GSE or the Georgia Standards of Excellence because they'd never looked at it before, being their first education class, and could I explain a little more about how to go about meeting this criteria? And I absolutely can. Happy to do that. Okay, so this GSE is an acronym. It stands for the Georgia Standards of Excellence. And what I can do is I can come right here and type in Georgia Standards of Excellence, and the website will be brought up here. Now, Georgia Standards of Excellence, this is from the state of Georgia, and this is the state of Georgia telling teachers what they should cover in content. Okay, so I'm going to click on this right here because this is going to take me to the main page where you can see all of the different content areas or disciplines here on the left-hand side. Now, before I go any further with the Georgia Standards of Excellence, I'm going to choose one of these content areas, and actually I'm going to choose math because I am a social studies person. I know the social studies standards pretty well, but I don't know a whole lot about math, or at least the math standards in K-12. I've never taught math before, so I'm going to step out of my comfort zone just a little bit to help you guys, since you guys are kind of navigating new waters as well. So I'm going to choose this math discipline right here, and when I click on this link, it's going to bring me to this resource. Okay, now here's a trick I could tell you right now. With PBS Learning Media, they have standards that their resources link back to, and if I click on standards right here and I create an account and then sign in, it'll list the Georgia standards that this resource links up to, which that's cool. But if you don't feel comfortable signing in and creating an account with PBS Learning Media, that's okay. We can still look at this, okay? So here's our resource right here that you are going to go through and you're going to look at. I'm going to be looking for the learning objectives, because learning objectives is what you want your students to know. As a result of a student going through and doing the work in your lesson, you are going to set objectives. You're going to say to yourself, what do I want my students to know? And so by setting those objectives, you can see here, there are two sets actually, one for math and one for arts and humanities, because this kind of combines two disciplines. So here I can quickly look and see that some very general learning objectives are for students who want to write numerals up to 20, compare two-digit numbers, know what the greater than, less than, symbols, equals, represents. Okay, so I have a pretty good idea of what the type of learning objectives or standards, or now I can turn around and look and see what standards, Georgia standards, might meet these learning objectives. So I'm going to jump right back over here to my standards page. Excuse me. I'm going to click on mathematics over here on the left hand side. And under mathematics, I'm just going to go and do something easy. I'm going to go to kindergarten through 5th grade. I, although, would encourage you to maybe look at the other groups of standards. If you are thinking that you want to teach middle school, look at your grade 6 through 8 standards, or high school, look at your 9 through 12 standards. These, looking at these standards and getting familiar with this Georgia Standards of Excellence website is good for you. This is something you're going to look at a lot as you continue in your journey of becoming an educator. But for simplicity purposes, I'm going to click on K5. Okay, and when I do that, it brings me to this page that has a lot of information. One of the good things that the Georgia Standards of Excellence, or the Georgia Department of Education, does for teachers is it gives a lot of support. Teacher support, different types of instruction for teachers on how to teach the standards. I encourage you to go through and look at this. It's all really good information. And if you were in the classroom, this is absolutely what you would be using to help teach your lessons, okay? But really, for the purpose of this assignment, doing what I want you to do, I'm really only interested here in the standards. So I'm going to click on the standards document, K through 5 standards. And this pulls up a PDF form that I can scroll down. And again, if this is something that you are planning to do and teach, I encourage you to go through and read this information. It's all really good information, getting you situated on how to teach the Georgia standards for each discipline. But I'm going to continue to scroll down, because really what I'm looking for is the standards as they pertain to these different grade levels. But this information that you see here is a rationale for how they came up with the different standards, okay? So as I continue to scroll down, I can see that my first set of standards is for kindergarten, which makes sense because this is K through 5. And the different types or topics that kindergartners are going to use in learning math. And as I continue to scroll down, there's lots of good information, but it starts off with some of these different topics. And as you can see here, we're starting off with counting and cardinality, okay? And as you can see here, there's a code, all right? Look at this code right here. This is important. This means mathematics, that's the M, Georgia Standards of Excellence, GSE, and this is kindergarten, and then counting cardinality, okay, and this is the first one. There's a 1, 2, and a 3, okay. So when you write your standard on your board, as you will do, so your students and your administrators and everybody, your other teachers will know what you're teaching that day, you'll write it with this code. As you go through, all standards with Georgia Standards of Excellence have a code. The social studies codes, they start off with SS, okay, social studies. Okay, but I can just stop right here really in terms of what I need to do for my assignment, right? If I jump back over here, what GSE, Georgia Standard of Excellence, would this content lesson fit in with, okay? I can stop right here because any one of these three right here, especially this one right here. Oops, right here. Oops. That's no good. Okay, I'm going to have to continue to scroll down. Maybe I can cut this out. There we go. Writing numbers from 0 to 20. If I go back to my lesson objectives here, I can write numerals up to 20. Okay, and so then I come over here and this write numbers from 0 to 20. Okay, so that is a standard that would fit in nice. If I were to teach this lesson on math and arts in my kindergarten class, I could pull in this standard. Okay, and so that's what I'm asking you to write here, to add. And in your report of your review, you can say the standard that would fit nicely in with this would be the MGSEK CC, and you could talk about how it's under this topic of counting and cardinality, and that how it links back to the lesson. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Certainly, if you have more questions or need additional information, please feel free to reach out to me. This being an online class, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to understand what I mean, maybe by an assignment, but I'm certainly willing to help you. So please feel free to reach out. Have a great day.